Today we're gonna try out the new Victoria Beckham Colour Washes. Let's do a little unboxing, shall we? This is how the blushes come. We're gonna do demos of each of the shades. I'll swatch them on the arms. We'll do everything. I'm excited about this formula because the tints that I have are kind of poop. So it comes with a little postcard, and then you open this nice little paper here, and then you have the bag. And in here, all right, let's put this little baggie aside. What do we have here? Made in Italy. Oh my goodness, look at that. Expiration date of 6 months. That's not great. But will they really expire in 6 months? Probably not. Let's go for the coral one first. Oh. Coral, this is flushed. I like the packaging. Look how pretty. This is, I think it's glass, frosted glass, and you have the name of the shade here in the bottom. That's flushed. And Vintage Rose. I like the packaging. It feels like it's really good quality. Now let's look at the dropper, because I think it's a metal dropper. Huh. Interesting. If you press the button, the liquid should come out, right? But out of where? I don't see a hole. I think the liquid comes out just from the outside, the perimeter of the ball. Let's press the button and see. Okay, yeah, the product comes out from around the metal ball. Let's stop playing around and actually swatch this. So this is coral. And then what, with my fingers? There's coral. Okay, so pretty sheer. Yeah, like the website says, they talk about it as a watercolor, hence the name Color Wash. Here is what it looks like on my fingers. Now let's try flushed. So flushed. It's kind of hard, this button to press. There. And then with my ring finger. Okay. And this is Vintage Rose. Let's see how much difference there is between the shades. I will put this one over here. Too much. My index finger. This one seems to have more pigment. Maybe not. They are supposed to be buildable. So this is just one layer, and here they are on my fingers. Coral, flushed, Vintage Rose. They are distinct colors, but once they're on the cheek, sheared out like this, I think maybe these two are gonna look pretty similar. Let's get them on the cheek and figure this out. Let's put it on. I have foundation, but it's not set with powder. It's not wet or tacky either. It's the Givenchy foundation, and it does dry down. So let's go in and use a brush. We'll use fingers with a different shade, but let's see. So it did give me plenty of time to blend it. A very subtle wash of color. Let's do another layer directly onto the cheek again, and then with a brush. I am seeing that the color is building up. This looks very natural. Is it dry yet? No, it's still a tiny bit sticky. Does that mean that I can blend it even more? Like, can I move it? Well, no, it seems like there's nothing there to move. I'm gonna go in a third time. Let's wait, let's give it a few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, to see if it hasn't dried down and it's indeed slow setting. Yeah, I think so. Where's my mirror? Did it blend? Yeah, I think it blended. If I look surprised, it's because I am surprised. Now let's do flushed on the other cheek, and we'll tap it out with the fingers. So no brush for this one. I guess that much. And let's use this finger. Very nice. I like the metal applicator. It's really cooling. It feels cooling as soon as it touches your skin. A touch on the nose. That's what Victoria did on her Instagram. Does it look patchy at all? I don't think it looks patchy. Look at that. Wow. Now we're gonna try on Vintage Rose. I already took both of the previous tints from my cheeks and I put foundation back on, Givenchy shade 3N. And this time around, I am going to powder. This is Hourglass Translucent Powder. Let's just, and we'll use this to set the foundation. Okay, let's see how it applies on top of powder. I'm gonna use a Sephora 47 brush, and I'll use my fingers on the other cheek. I think I applied too much. I mean, it'll still blend. Yeah, it looks fine. But if you want less pigment, then don't use as much product as I did. Oh, but look at that. Yeah, that looks really nice. Make sure it's blended properly, and I can still feel that it is wet on my skin. It's still wet. So technically, if you misplace it, you should be able to move it around. Oh, that's pretty. And so natural looking too. Huh. Does it feel tacky? It feels slightly tacky. So let's give it a few minutes and let's do the other cheek with fingers. Ooh, I think I went overboard again, but. Oh, and this time I want to add some on my lips. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's starting to set. You still have to move fast, but not frantically fast. You just move at a normal speed, do one cheek at a time. I want to get more to put some on the bridge of my nose and more on my lips. Oh, as I pressed it, the ball kind of moves in and out. Hold on a second. How does this work? If I don't press the button, does product come out? There's a big bubble though. Hold on. Okay, there. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so there's some on the cheek. This is 2 layers, and I forgot to put them on my lips and my nose. I'm just gonna apply it, dispense it directly on my lips. Put some on my nose there. It does give a slight wash of color to my lips, but nothing significant. Can I keep going with it? Yeah. So this is Vintage Rose. Doesn't smell like anything, and it doesn't seem to taste like anything either. We have Vintage Rose on both cheeks. I want to see Vintage Rose, which we have on right now next to Flushed. So let me take off my makeup just on one cheek so we can put Flushed there. And I'm gonna do that on camera. Just in case you're wondering, well, but does it stain your cheek? We'll see. This is the Elemis Cleansing Balm. That's what I'm using to remove my makeup here on this side of the face. They do claim to be long wearing, so it is possible that they will stain your cheeks. Actually, we can see it here with my fingers too. Let's get the balm in there and see how easy it is for it to come off. It's not coming off. Yikes. But these are sitting directly on bare skin. Maybe, since on the cheek, they're sitting on top of foundation. The foundation creates a sort of barrier. The Elemis Balm is still on my cheek. Let's see if we can. I see the foundation coming off. My cheek, either my cheek is stained or it's irritated, but I doubt it's irritated because I've only taken my makeup off twice. And it's still in my fingers. It looks like it does stain your cheek slightly, so if you mind that, it might be a problem for you. Let me get foundation back on. Let's powder it exactly what we did on this side. We're gonna put on Flushed, which is this shade right here, a sheer blush red and Victoria's signature shade. We have not tried it with a brush. Let's do that. The consistency is indeed, it's just like water. So let's take it with a brush. Yeah, I'm seeing that the color is building up slowly. I don't think you can get any more natural looking than this right here. But can we see a difference between Flushed and Vintage Rose? What do you think? They look very similar, Flushed and Vintage Rose. Let me see what Vintage Rose is described as. A sheer berry mauve. And Coral, a sheer warm coral. So this is a sheer red and this is a sheer berry. I personally like the red better, so Flushed might be my favorite. But all three work. All three look good. I love that they're buildable. How about let's build Flushed more. We'll continue with the brush. Flushed. And let's bring it in towards the nose as if the sun hit us. It's still not dry, so I can come back in and get a little bit more. But now, is it dry now? Yeah, it's hard to move. Now it's hard to move. So it does set relatively quickly, but not as fast as Benetint. I'm gonna put some of Flushed on the lips. You guys, I know that my nail polish it's a total fail. You know how it's a nice thing when somebody says, oh, your top, your sweater really brings out your eyes and it's a good thing? Well, when I finished doing my nails, I was like, the green, you know what it brings out? The green in my veins. That's what it does. Not flattering at all, but I'm not about to redo them I can live with them for a week or so, and then I'll change them. What do you think of Flushed versus Vintage Rose? If they're still on my fingers, I'm gonna go wash my hands, see if it comes off. That shirt was way too tight and very uncomfortable, so I'm in my robe now. I forgot to tell you that I went to wash my hands to see if the swatches from these three came off with just regular hand soap, and they didn't, but they did come off fully with dish soap. So even though I have not worn them a full day yet, I'm thinking they are gonna be long wearing. Before we do the final thoughts, two things. One, I thought this was really cool on her website. Here's my mouse, and look as I drag it down, how it looks like the water is moving. How cool is that? That was number one. Number two, let's look at the competitors. These are the tints that I have. Let's just swatch them on the arm and see really how fast they dry. So these Victoria Beckham Colour Washes are $46. So how about we revisit the tints? I have two cheek tints. Let's do some swatches and see if we really like the Victoria Beckham ones a lot more. Because yeah, 46, well, it's a luxury price point, but let's see just how much better it is than previous tints. This is the Benetint one in the shade Rose. Let's do a few dots. Well, let's do that. Then you come in and you blend. There. That's the amount of time that you have before it dries. It's completely dry. Let's do Milk. I have read reviews, people saying that this actually dries up. This particular one is brand new, so I don't know about that. Okay, it's dry. All right, we've done the demos and the swatches. Time for my final thoughts. If you're after that truly barely there flush, I really think you should check these out. What really sets these apart for me is the blendability and the working time. Because unlike some other skin tints out there, this one doesn't immediately want to seize into your skin. With other tints, it's like you're racing against the clock to blend them out before they dry. This stuff gives you plenty of time. I'm not saying that you can take your time, but the fear of patchy application is seriously reduced, which makes it user-friendly, especially if you're new to these types of liquid blushes. The finish, it's one of the best things really. It has this watercolor effect. It's sheer, but you can build it up. It looks so incredibly natural. It truly looks like, you know, you just came back from a brisk walk, or you're just naturally flushed. The shade Flushed, they really nailed the shade with this one. What was it? A sheer red. So the formula itself, the fact that it is a tint, it lends itself to looking very natural, but also if the shades are not right, it's gonna defeat the purpose. So if the shades look extremely artificial, then that's not gonna do a great job. But they really nail the shades with these three. If you wear them sheer though, you don't build them up too much. I have two different shades on right now, Flushed and Vintage Rose. I built them up, I think it was two layers. I'll roll a clip here of what it looks like in natural light. There is not a huge difference. They are in fact very similar once they're on. They don't have any shimmer either. They just dry down to a very natural skin-like radiance. They look almost like they're part of your skin. They make you look healthy, not like you have makeup sitting on top of the skin. On the lips, I think I have pretty pigmented lips, so they don't show up that much. They didn't feel particularly drying or anything, but I would personally just use them on my cheeks. The fact that they're also marketed for lips, these are for you if you're looking for an effortless flush. And I just looked at myself in the monitor. I really like these. Don't like the 6-month expiration thing, but I was very curious about this product, and I think that we have a good understanding of it now. I think they're winners. Let me know what you think. Also, my favorite shade is Flush. We don't hear a lot about cheek tints though. They're not a lot out there. I know there are several in the K-beauty market, and I'm not familiar with those. I'm saying just the ones that are readily available in the US, let's say at Sephora, at Ulta. There aren't many, whereas cream blushes, powder blushes, there are tons of those. So I wonder why more brands don't make these. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.